Hi everybody, this is Jenny Guthrie with Glow Medical Aesthetics, and we're here with another installment of our Beauty for Real series, Living Filter Free in a Filter-Filled World. We have Miss Mandy joining us today, and we've known each other a year and a half?
2 years.
Is it 2 years
Yes.
already? Oh my gosh. Anyway, and so I would consider you a friend as well as a patient. That sometimes happens. And anyway, so I wanted to have you here with your vibrantness to do one of our interviews. So as we talk about in all of these, that life is a process. Mm-hmm. And so let's talk about, kind of your relationship with beauty over time, because time is the one thing that keeps ticking on for all of us. So how has it changed over time?
It just wasn't something I thought about a lot when I was younger. Mm-hmm. I was just age wasn't something I considered.
It wasn't going to happen to you.
Yeah, no. For me, actually, the first thing I started noticing, I had an accident with a horse. I have a lot of accidents with horses. But I had an accident with a horse when I was in college, and I was kicked in the face, and it broke my cheekbone.
Which, thank God, you survived.
Yes, it was fine. But I had a really bad scar on my cheek from it, and it healed. It was fine. I didn't have any problems. Wasn't a concern at the time. But as I started aging, I started noticing in pictures when people would take pictures with me and I would smile that my cheek would cave in. Mm-hmm. And I started becoming very self-conscious about my smile, something that I always smile and laugh and have fun. And then I started going, oh, gee, every time I smile, my cheek's caving in and it's really noticeable and my wrinkles are becoming more defined. So I quit smiling as big. I was much more self-conscious about the smile.
Isn't that sad?
Yes.
You're like diminishing your happiness because of that.
I would literally, as we're taking family pictures, I'd be like, okay, where's the degree of smile? Like, I can't do the big smile because my cheek will cave. So I literally would think that when we would take pictures.
Yeah.
As I started aging.
Yeah. So what about just beauty in general? What does it mean to you? When you hear that word, what does it conjure up? What comes to mind?
I think it means something different for everyone, and my idea of beauty has changed as I've aged. And one of the things for me personally is when I feel beautiful, I'm a beautiful person.
Yeah.
And I see that with so many women that will have self-conscious issues, is they're sometimes mean and hateful. It's not because they're that way, it's because they don't feel beautiful inside.
It's almost like a self-protective.
Yes.
Like armor, shields up.
Yep.
That
and I was that way. I'm a very outgoing and fun person, and I became more quiet, and I didn't want to laugh and interact as much because I was so self-conscious about my cheek that it kind of altered my personality a little bit.
Yeah. So then you weren't being true to yourself.
Right.
Isn't that, how long do you feel like you dealt with that?
Let's see, it probably 8 years.
8 years? Mm-hmm. Goodness.
Yep. 8 years like that.
Wow, that's a long time to have that kind of cloud,
it was.
Over you. So then let's talk about, so what role has Glow Medical played in that for you?
I don't have
your divot
in my cheek anymore.
We de-divoted you.
That was actually when I met you. I had the mindset, there's nothing that can be done for me but plastic surgery, and I knew that was not something I was interested in at all. I did not want to be a fake version of myself.
But yet you were living a fake version of yourself.
I was like, I don't want to get cheek implants or I was really terrified of the thought of plastic surgery, and I thought that was my only option. I didn't think there were any other options or things that I could do. And I'll never forget meeting you and be like, oh, I have this problem with my cheek, but you can't fix it. And you said, yes, I can.
What are you talking about?
Like, no, you don't understand. It caves in, and you're like, I can fix it. And just your confidence.
Mm-hmm. Aw.
made me feel better.
Yeah, well, good. Then I did my job.
Yes.
Because ultimately that's what
Yes.
I'm here for, in that regard. So thank you for trusting me with that. I appreciate that. So besides being kicked in the face by a horse and then living for 8 years like Eeyore, talk about maybe a time in your life or a season that, again, because I think sometimes if we just look at the bad things that happened to us for what they are, just that season, and we don't kind of dig a little deeper, because sometimes I think out of ashes comes beauty. There's that verse in Isaiah that talks about beauty for ashes. And so I think sometimes in those seasons of our life, if we get stuck in them, then we get in trouble. But if you can get through them, and then you can look back and you can see that maybe out of the ashes something beautiful came, or you think about gold that has to be refined. And I think sometimes those challenging seasons kind of refine us. It's not great to go through them, but it can be refining. So let's talk about maybe something in your life that wasn't so beautiful, where you felt like a refining process happened.
I've had a lot of those.
That's what everybody says.
Many of those. I'm going to still go back to my cheek is honestly one of the biggest ones for me. It was something that I did not at all view as pretty, and it was something that I brought up to friends and family. It was something we talked about frequently. Because of that, I have a better understanding, and I'm much more sincere to other women who have similar issues.
Yeah.
That don't feel confident or say, I don't like this about myself. Like, I'm sympathetic.
Yeah. Well, we could we all could give a list.
Yes.
Like, it's like give me the top 5. Like, I'll give you the top 10. What are you talking about 5? I mean, that's again our human nature, and learning to flip that. To where we're again looking at the positive instead of focusing so much on the negative. Because when I met you, I didn't even notice your cheek. And I do facial assessment for a living. So you can see kind of, one of those things. It's like it was there, but it had become such a thing for
to
you.
me, like this big cloud.
Yes, exactly. And, of course, when I saw you, all I saw was this spunky, beautiful, woman. And I didn't see, oh my goodness, you have, this big defect.
Yeah.
And so I just think I'm glad you don't have to live with that, anymore. But I hope that you can, learn from that, that people see you so differently than you see yourself. And we're all like that. We all see ourselves one way, but I think if we let our true colors shine, who we are on the inside, as long as we work on that, and allow that to be refined, then, we can let that shine and not be so worried about everybody looking at, little things.
And it's always my favorite part when I come see you, when I start to panic about it. I'm like, Jenny,
I know.
Are you sure? Have you looked? Can I do the fake smile? Will you look?
You
always
we have this conversation.
Yes, almost
every month.
I'm like, are you sure it's still good? But it's that cloud that hangs over, and then it's nice to come somewhere and be reassured.
Yeah.
And feel good when you leave.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like it's one of those things. Like people have acne.
Yes.
They've done even studies on those individuals who had really severe acne, and even
scarring.
And the scarring. But even once the acne is gone, they still kind of live with the stigma of it, and that's almost kind of like what you were. Doing, and even like where you're at now, where it's the issue's been resolved, but then you still kind of live with the cloud of it. It's still kind of there, and so the good news is there are things that we can do about that.
I know.
So anyway, exactly. Well, thank you for taking your time to be with me today and share about your journey with us. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for
very
having
much,
me.
of course. So thank you all for watching. And if you have any questions or need some additional information about Glow Medical, you can check us out on our website at www.glowmedicaltulsa.com or give us a call at 918-927-2618.